What is golden hour and why is it so romantic for those wedding photos? Today I'm going to talk through golden hour, how to shoot it, how to get your couples to prioritize it, and how to take awesome sunset photos. I'm Brenda Bergreen, one half of Bergreen Photography. Some might say the better half of Bergreen Photography. I work alongside my husband, Mark, who does awesome gear reviews. Be sure to check them out if you care about that sort of thing. And if you don't, I empathize. Let's get to this subject of golden hour and why it matters. When I first started shooting photography, I thought I can make a beautiful picture any time of day, which is true. And once I really got to understand light, I understood why everybody is so excited about golden hour, so excited about guns, so excited about golden hour, so excited about sunset. If you don't already know, when people talk about golden hour, they're talking about that hour or so before sunset, or sometimes after sunrise if you happen to be up early enough to catch a sunrise. And at that time of day, the sun is lower in the sky and the angle of the sun makes this really beautiful golden warm light that happens to be super romantic and soft and a really nice light to shoot couples in, especially on the wedding day. So a lot of times people will ask, what's the best time of day for pictures, for couples pictures on a wedding day? What time are we going to do portraits? And the answer often is golden hour, but sometimes it's a little bit more complicated than that, because sometimes the hour or so before a sunset will be a dark, scary forest. If you're in a forest, you don't really get golden hour in the same way. Or sometimes the sun will go behind a mountain and that happens maybe before golden hour would happen, but you wanted to catch that last light. And so it's not just about an hour before sunset, anytime, anywhere. You have to also know where you are, what is the venue, and what are your specific circumstances. And luckily there's an app for that. Be sure to check the links below. You can look up, where am I? Where's the sun going? When is it gonna disappear? When's last light? When's actual sunset? When's alpenglow? You can look up all these sorts of things to figure out the best time to shoot wedding photos for your specific day, which may or may not be golden hour. And the other problem is convincing your couples to shoot portraits at golden hour, which to some people is dinner time. And in order to get those sunset portraits, sometimes we have to be able to influence the wedding day timeline. So when you're looking at your specific location and you're figuring out the best time to shoot wedding photos, yes, know what time sunset is. You can assume that golden hour is that hour or so around then, but you're also gonna wanna look for when the sun goes behind a hill or a mountain or a building. When are you gonna lose the light? Which might be different if you're in a forest versus a meadow versus on top of a mountain. And then if you're like us and you shoot in the mountains a lot, you also might want to know, when is the sun going to light up the mountains behind, the backdrop, the alpenglow. So there's more you want to know than just when is golden hour and when is sunset, but that's a good starting spot. So that brings us to this idea of like, what's the best time for a sunset wedding? And that's another complicated question, because some people want to get married at sunset. And if you have a couple that has 200 guests in a complicated to get to venue, and they planned their wedding for actual sunset, and then half their guests are on a shuttle that's running half an hour late, next thing you know, you're missing sunset and you're shooting family pictures in the dark and everything goes wrong. Not that that's happened to anybody that I know before. You want to have a little wiggle room in your schedule, and you want to anticipate delays that might happen. So if a couple comes to you and they want a sunset wedding, you might plan the ceremony an hour before sunset, followed by family pictures, followed by couple portraits. And the couple's portraits are what's happening during sunset, while the guests are enjoying a cocktail hour watching the sunset as well. Often the best time for a sunset wedding is actually not at sunset itself. Which brings me to this difference between golden hour photos and sunset photos. Often we refer to them as the same thing. We kind of say, hey, we're gonna be taking sunset photos. But what we really mean is we're gonna be taking photos during golden hour, or we're gonna be taking photos during sunset, or we're gonna take photos during golden hour and sunset, because those are two totally different, beautiful, awesome things. Golden hour photos are those photos that have that nice golden light before the sun goes down. Sunset photos are what happens when the sun goes away and the clouds light up and they're pink and they're purple and they look like cotton candy. Those are two different types of photos, and they're both awesome, and they both happen around that sunset time. With sunset photos, when we're talking about that pink cotton candy sky, those photos you might want to add some light, or you're shooting a silhouette, because the dynamic range of the photo is a little bit more difficult versus the golden hour photos when you have more light to work with and you're not trying to get the clouds in the shot necessarily. So there's also some different techniques with how you shoot golden hour versus how you shoot sunset, even though that's all happening maybe in the same portrait session. If you're asking yourself the question, should I shoot sunset photos or should I shoot golden hour photos? The answer is yes, both. You should shoot both. I'll make my argument for prioritizing golden hour and sunset photos. Everybody has an iPhone. Everybody can take pictures of beautiful scenery, of a beautiful dress, of a beautiful wedding day. With your professional equipment and your experience and your expertise, you can take photos that are more dynamic, more engaging, more saturated, more impressive, especially if you're shooting during golden hour when you have nice, soft, golden light to work with. That's really flattering on pretty much everybody. If that didn't convince you, give it a few years of shooting in terrible light and you'll see where I'm coming from. The main thing now is that we have to convince our couples and our clients to prioritize those sunset photos, which doesn't always work with the timeline. The first look is really popular because people think they're going to get all of their photos done ahead of time, but sometimes that means they're doing photos at noon when it's 100 degrees outside and they're sweating, and they don't look like the photos that they see on Pinterest, because a lot of Pinterest photos, it's like everything's shot at sunset, and I can't make it be sunset all day, nor would I want to, right? So one of the ways that we can convince our clients to prioritize golden hour photos on their wedding day is to shoot sunset engagement photos. There's lots of reasons to shoot sunset engagement photos, but one of the big ones is that when your clients see those photos, they'll understand, wow, sunset is awesome. Let's make sure we get some sunset photos on our wedding day. Another thing will happen. You'll get to work with them and they'll get to work with you, and they'll understand your cues so that on their wedding day, you can get those awesome sunset photos faster because your couple already knows what you want them to do. So you don't have to worry so much about posing and this and that because they have worked with you before. So that practice on the engagement sunset photos will help you on your wedding day sunset photos. Another great reason to take the sunset engagement photos is that you have more time than on a wedding day to really create something artistic and unique and creative. On a wedding day, sometimes you're like, okay, I got 15 minutes between speeches and the first dance. I got to go get some sunset photos. I got to get them back. And they haven't even talked to their mom yet. And so there's more pressure of keeping them happy and having them have a great experience with getting them the photos that they want. And that's what we're juggling on the wedding day, is how do we have them have the best experience ever, see all their guests, have a really fun time, but also get them these incredible once-in-a-lifetime photos. On the engagement shoot, you have all the time in the world, at least until that sun is gone, to get awesome creative photos. And so use that time and play and really enjoy taking sunset engagement photos. I know I do. And lastly, most couples don't have any photos of themselves that aren't selfies or amateur photography. And so getting in sunset engagement photos allows them to have some awesome photos of each other, of themselves, that aren't just in their wedding clothes. Because most of us aren't going to hang a million wedding photos in our house, but we might hang a wedding photo and then we might hang this other photo where we're on a beach or on a mountain or something like that. And so it's giving them more variety in their artwork for their house, more photos, more memories, and more appreciation for your work. Those are some of the reasons to shoot sunset engagement photos. Let's move on to tips for shooting sunset wedding photos. The first tip is to shoot sunset engagement photos because that'll help your wedding photos be more efficient. You can rewind and listen to that again if you need to. The second tip is shoot golden hour, shoot sunset, shoot blue hour, shoot a star photo, shoot portraits throughout the day rather than like one long 2-hour portrait session. If you can just grab your couple really quick, have them step outside while the golden hour is happening, and then let them go mingle. And then maybe like half an hour later, you're like, oh, look, the clouds are pink. Let's go take a quick picture. And then, a little bit later, you take another portrait. It won't feel like they're spending all day taking photos, and you're getting diverse photos from the wedding day. Because sometimes you don't get pink bubblegum sunset clouds. And sometimes you don't get golden hour because it's too foggy or something. And so have it in your arsenal to shoot different types of wedding photos, even indoor lit shots, so that you can get a variety of portraits for your couples using a variety of awesome light. I love golden hour. I also love blue hour. That's pretty unique as well. Tip number 3 is to schedule sunset photos so that everybody expects it. If you put it on your timeline, it'll end up on the planner's timeline. The bride and the groom will have it in their mind that it's going to happen. Everybody will know that it's going to happen. And then when you take the couple halfway through dinner to go take some sunset photos, nobody will be surprised or mad at you. You still have to be respectful of all the other vendors and make sure you're not delaying things. So if you schedule it, that's more of a chance of making it happen. I don't usually schedule it like to the T and say like exactly this time I'm going to take you, because sunset, especially up in the mountains, can look a little different at different times, and we might want to go out now or we might want to go out a little bit later. But I'm just prepared to like go grab them when I need them, and they know that I'm going to do that. The fourth tip for getting great sunset photos is to shoot in multiple directions. So some people only shoot backlight. Some people only shoot front light. You might have a preference. You might love the golden light on the skin, or you might love the backlight. I suggest shooting both because both are awesome. You don't know what's going to turn out better. You don't know what your client's going to like better, and it gives you more variety and more skills with how to shoot with sun flare, how to get the light angle to be on the right side of a person to make them look their best. Tip number 5 is to shoot a silhouette. One of my favorite things to shoot at sunset is a silhouette. They're just really dramatic. They're really different. They're really unique. And it's just a nice thing to add variety to the gallery that you're going to deliver to your client. And they're also fun. It's fun to like figure out how to get the client to stand in a way that's really flattering for a silhouette. Tip number 6 is to learn how to use light. Even if you shoot natural light most of the time, having a light for sunset photos allows you to really allow your subject to pop while getting the full dynamic range of the sunset itself. I'm not saying get a super complicated lighting setup unless you're able to use a super complicated lighting setup. I'm just saying get a light on a stick and light your couple so that you can expose for the background and get a really dramatic picture that somebody, some aunt or uncle standing next to you with their iPhone can't get. That's what your client is paying you for, is to go above and beyond what their aunt can do. And my last tip for shooting sunset, tip number 7, is to chase the light. So sometimes especially with engagement shoots, when we have a lot of time, we can pick a spot where we're going to shoot until the sun goes behind the mountain, and then we're going to go to another spot and reset the sun. Or you can like move back along an area so that you can reset the sun, and then golden hour is longer and you have more time and you can get more variety. And so don't just think it's it's over or it's not happening yet, go to where the edge of the light is and then move with the light. In review, we've talked about what is golden hour, what are sunset photos, what's the best time for wedding photos, how do we convince our couples to prioritize those sunset golden hour photos. Don't forget there's an app for that. Photographers are nothing without our tools that make us professionals and make us better at what we do. Then we talked through sunset engagement pictures, some reasons why those really help our wedding photos. And we talked through 7 tips for taking better sunset wedding photos. In review, tip number 1 was shooting engagement photos. Tip number 2 was to shoot golden hour, shoot sunset, shoot blue hour, shoot star photos, shoot a variety of different types of light so that you're good at all of it and because you don't know what's going to be most awesome on any given wedding day. Tip number 3 is to put it on the schedule so that everybody expects it, so your clients know it's going to happen, so they're willing to sneak out to do that with you. And they will be, especially if you built trust with them by doing those sunset engagement photos. Tip number 4, shoot front lit, shoot backlit, get a variety and be good at both. Number 5, shoot a silhouette. Number 6, use light. And number 7, don't be afraid to chase the light and play a little light tag. Knowing the right timing for the right pictures can increase your ability to do more creative shots. I can't wait to see what you create. Be sure to check out some of our other popular YouTube videos on outdoor wedding photography, how to shoot light specifically, how to shoot night photos, and let us know what else you want to hear. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. No, that's not a good joke.